just leave.
It's your boy D.
I'm sorry. We're tuning in a homeroom with Smooth. Class is now in session.
Okay. What's up, y'all? So listen, this is Homeroom with Smooth podcast, episode number 231. All right. We in transition into season 9. All right. So just to handle some quick business stuff. All right. One, there's gonna be some bigger guests this season. Because that's all I wanted to do. First of all, just to give you a little insight into myself, I kind of wanted. I don't know. I'm kind of like this in a way. I wanted to prove that I could do it. Right. I just wanted to prove that I could do it and like keep doing it to myself. That's first and foremost. So that's why there hadn't been any like really like big guests. So going forward though, I have done like some work, some reaching out. And yeah, y'all just for the rest of this season and for the next couple seasons, especially 10, there's definitely gonna be some people. I'm gonna have some folks on here. So y'all just be tuned and tapped in for that. Make sure y'all subscribe. Um, I'm not gonna give away no spoilers, no details. Just keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so we are here to talk about all right, the Supreme Court. All right. Okay, this episode is called Supreme Flop. All right. Affirmative. So we're talking about affirmative action. They're ruling on that. Student loans. They're ruling on that. And the LGBTQ rights ruling that they ruled on. That kind of roll back some rights in that regard, as far as like being able to discriminate against them in a way, like the religious exemption route is a religious exemption. So yeah, those are the three big things. I'm also gonna tap in on I'm also gonna talk about the gerrymandering one from last week because I didn't really talk about that, so I'm gonna talk about that as well. So how this is gonna go? I'm gonna talk about it, what it is. I'm gonna then give my opinion on it, and then we're gonna move to the next one. That's it. Very simple, very yeah, very simple, very small. Very small, very simple. It's gonna be quick-ish video because it's four of them. And some of them I have a lot more opinions than others. Um, and they're pretty much gonna go in that order, except for let's dig into the gerrymandering thing, okay? Because the gerrymandering thing is very straightforward. They literally told them, what was it? Was that North Carolina? Was that North Carolina? Was it Alabama? I don't remember the state. Anyway, it was in the South. I do remember that much. The state was in the South. It was gerrymandered so bad. It was Louisiana. There it is. It's Louisiana. It was gerrymandered so bad. Even the conservative justices were like, yo, y'all need to fix this. This is bad. This doesn't even make sense. Like, there's no logical way you can get to here except being racist. And you know it takes a lot to get Clarence Thomas to go, yeah, that might be racist. And he's black. Oh, Uncle Tom has. But yeah, so needless to say, they're gonna have to make that actually a good constitutional map and make a good constitutional map. I know they sick down there because you know what I'm saying. They trying to push up legislation to say that the federal government can't intervene in state elections, and the Supreme Court wasn't flying that, wasn't dealing with that one because they like, yeah, y'all are terrible people. Y'all are terrible people. Sometimes like other people need to hold y'all accountable in some ways. So yeah, that's the piece on the gerrymandering. Good day, positive thing for black people. I mean, it's like 37% of the population was like black, and like somehow they only got one district. Like that doesn't make sense. Like one district had a majority of them in it. Like that didn't make any sense. They like anyway, we're just gonna move on. So all right, let's talk about affirmative action. Okay, let's talk about affirmative action. So the affirmative action ruling, right? So the judges, obviously, this was a 6-3 conservatives, because there's 6 conservative justices. There's only 3 liberal justices. So I mean, like I kind of knew this was gonna happen, but what it did was, so first of all, the schools have 4 years to find another way to implement that strategy, other than uh, other than specifically like uh, using race as a thing, as a marker, as an indicator. Like if you go, oh, I'm black, then it goes, okay, like, hey, we got to meet this quota. So, but they did say they allow the discussion of race, right, in admission. So if someone introduces race in their essay that they write for the school, then you get you actually will get they can actually have that discussion. So Harvard, and I believe it was UNC also, like they said they're gonna they told people just explicitly straight up, like, yo, put it in your essay and we can discuss how race was a factor in your admission. I think it's gonna slow down the admission process though, because now, you know what I'm saying, they're definitely gonna have to like go through all these essays and like have a little back and forth with the person to kind of like establish rapport, um, and make sure they're not lying in their essay and saying like, "Yo, I'm black," when you're actually like something else. Um, Now, I did see. Oh well, before I get into my opinion piece, um, so yeah, 2028 is when it actually goes into effect, where affirmative action, as far as schools is concerned, is no longer a thing. Just schools. They didn't touch any other area where affirmative action was necessary. Just schools. Okay, just schools. Now you could make a connotation like, well, obviously it is a bit racial, like racist or whatever. And the thing is, like it wasn't even the normal group that brought it forward. Like I genuinely thought these were white people bringing it forward. I genuinely did, but found out it was Asians. So I apologize, white people. I thought it was y'all. I genuinely thought it was white people, but it's not. It was Asian Americans. For some reason, they thought that black students, there were some black students that were getting slots that shouldn't have gotten slots over their Asian counterparts. And they feel like they were denied applications when they were more qualified than said black person. And they think like, I don't know what people are thinking, because it seems to be a broader thing online. First of all, like, let's be real here and let's be honest. Nobody is just walking into Harvard. Nobody is just getting into Harvard unless your legacy. Okay, that means everyone else has got to have it going on. Like, I think if you're an athlete, you can get away with like a 3.5 or 3.0 or something like that as an athlete. As an athlete. But as a as like a regular student, like most of the cats going there 3.8, 3.9, 4.0, 4.2, 4.5. Like these cats were already even taking college classes already. Most of these kids, like it's not like it's not like Tyrone with a 2.0, with a 2.5 is going to Harvard. No, it's not. That's not the case. That is not the case at all. Just straight up, that's not the case. And I wish people knew and understood that. Like, that's not what's happening here. Like, people aren't getting in there that shouldn't get in there. Only thing that happened was they literally went out of their way to find these kids that were from these neglected areas that normally they would not see. Okay. They were giving people a shot. That's it. All they were doing was going places where nobody's looking. Okay, they're like, yo, there's some kid with like a 4.3 out of I don't know, like I'm trying to think of a like Hope, Arkansas. Like Hope, Arkansas got a population of like 2,000. Like they went and found a kid from Hope, Arkansas. Like let's be, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what they were doing. Like they were going to places that nobody was checking for. Flint, Michigan, nobody's checking for Flint. But if a kid in Flint got a 4.5, who cares if he's black, white, or whatever? He has a 4.5. It's literally based on merit and always has been. People just think affirmative action boosted them up. And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Everybody except for white men was benefiting from affirmative action. So guess what? Everybody collectively, like collectively, all other minorities, to include white women, which was the main benefactor of affirmative action, is gonna take an L here. Everybody's gonna take an L. They're all gonna take an L. Like we're gonna see when we're in like 2030 the actual effects of this decision. Like we won't see it in the next 8 years, really. Like you won't know till we hit like 2030, like the full blown effects. You know what I'm saying? Of who, because first of all, you got to get the data, then you got to analyze the data and then produce it. Okay. So again, we're in 2023 right now. It's not going to go into effect until the 2027-2028 school year. So like you need like two or three times for it to like 2 or 3 school years, you know what I'm saying? So by the end of 2030, you know what I'm saying, which is that 2029 freshman class, like we're gonna know what is going on, like what the trend is. We're gonna be able to predict what the 2030 class is gonna look like and what it's gonna look like kind of going forward, unless the universities choose to course correct in some way. Um, so yeah, that's affirmative action. Um, the Asian kid that brought this forward, you shot yourself in the foot, and you shot your friends in the foot, and all other future generations of people that you wanted to go to school. You affected them negatively, negatively, negatively. Because now instead of having an actual position based on your race, you kind of have no slots, and it's like super merit based. Like you might not make it, bro. Your friends might not make it, and it's okay. And here's the thing though, like if you're a kid and you could get into Harvard, you probably could go to another Ivy League too. Like Harvard is not going to be the end all be all. UNC is not going to be the end all be all. Like you could go to another school and be just fine. Like let's be honest. Let's be honest. Anyway, so that's affirmative action. All right, so then let's walk into the student loans, all right? So this was dumb. Okay, first of all, I'm just going to be straight up with it. It was dumb. Okay, Biden and the Department of Education knew that the Supreme Court was stacked with conservatives. This was not going to fly. I don't know why people kept their hopes alive. Okay, I personally knew it was DOA. Okay, dead on arrival. Wasn't going to happen. They weren't going to let that fly. Okay, so student loans ain't happening. All right, it's not happening. And the thing was, they used I forget what it's called. I forget what it's called. Hold on. Let me see. What is it called? They said so in their 6-3 excuse me, in their 6-3 decision with conservative justice in the majority said the Biden administration overstepped its authority with a plan and left its borrowers on the hook with repayments that are expected to resume in the fall. Uh, Majority rejected. They said rejected the arguments that a bipartisan law, 2023 law, with national emergence known as the hero that gave Biden the power that he claimed. Uh, uh, six states, six states sued, arguing the Heroes Act does not authorize loan cancellation plan, and we agree. The Supreme Court was blunt in its ruling. Uh, under the authority of the Higher Education Act to begin a new program designed to ease borrowers' threat of default if they fall behind over the next year. Yeah, so that's what they plan on doing. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. Okay. I'm gonna be real honest. I don't know why they thought this was gonna happen with this Supreme Court. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, I didn't, I didn't think it was gonna happen. Uh, and this is why I want to take this moment to say elections are important. Okay, vote for people that you need to vote for. Like, if you want to see certain things passed, because those people appoint other people. Okay, so you need to take elections seriously. Show up and vote. Okay, show up and vote. Voting is important. I have not missed. I have not missed a voting year. Okay, knocking on wood here. I have not missed a voting year. Have not. Have not. Even my no, I ain't. I don't. I've missed a local. I've missed a couple of local elections, but my main thing is I always go vote in the midterms and in the primary, like the big primary election. Those are like crucial. You don't do anything else. Like you vote biannually, like every 2 years. Like, who can't do that? You can't do something once every 2 years. Once that's going to affect your life and the life of your children. You can't do it once. Once. That's it. That's it. Just exercise your right to vote. That's it. Exercise your right to vote. Like, it's free. And that's the crazier part. It's free. It's free to exercise your Second Amendment right. You gotta go buy a gun. That's $800. Man, oh my God. So that is student loan. So the $400 billion plan canceled, done, finito. Is not happening. We're stuck. Okay, we're stuck like Chuck. We're stuck like Chuck. Matter of fact, where is my wait, or is it this one? Oh no, it's this one. Okay. Had to add a little background music. All right. So next story is so here's the story. So the Supreme Court rules for a designer who doesn't want to make wedding websites for gay couples. Now, this is where this story gets interesting, because this woman that brought this forward doesn't even make websites yet. She sued. So when she goes to making websites, she ain't got to make them. She ain't got to make gay wedding websites. I mean, you could always just decline the business. Like, you could always just say, I think I have somebody else that will do it for you, and just refer them, and just refer them out. Like, hey, I'm gonna refer you out to this person. This person is great at doing these. So the dude hopped up and was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do it like immediately." Like, so why? Like, she technically didn't even have grounds, because the person. So here we go. So the person listed in the suit, that said he was that they said was trying to get the website made. The guy wasn't even involved in that. It was news to him that he was listed on the case, and he said, "Why did no one do any background check to make sure like this was like legitimate? What she's talking about?" You know, he's there. He has a wife and kid. He's like, "I love my wife. I love my kids. I'm not gay." Like, that's a wild thing to have to explain. Like, why you're in a Supreme Court document trying to get a gay wedding website as a heterosexual male. Like, that's how do you explain that to your wife? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's now on the back end. She's finding out on the back end, and now she's looking at him funny. Now everything he's done that was just a little sus, it's now even more sus. It's like blown out of proportion. But so that's one. I don't know how she sued without having grounds. Okay, she didn't have grounds because it's not like She was turning down a customer, or a customer was upset with her. There were no customers yet. She hadn't even started building websites. Like, how do you have an interest? How did Supreme Court rule on this? How did they get finessed? They got finessed in the ruling on this. Okay, that's one. All right. That's one thing. Then two, after that, you know what I'm saying? Her now, from a religious standpoint, and the way she explained it, I understand. Like like I understand what she was saying. Like, because it's imagine like you told like and I don't have a better example than this. Like, if someone gets offended, like, let me know. I mean no harm, but like imagine you're running a sandwich shop, and you try and get your Muslim employee to make a pork sandwich. Like, he's gonna be like, no, this is unclean meat. We don't eat pork. We don't deal with pork. We do nothing with pork involved in it. That's a religious exemption. That makes sense. Like, okay, we got bacon sandwich coming through. No. You don't want to deal with this. We ain't gonna have you deal with it. You good? You're fine. You're fine, bro. Okay, cool. They make that exemption for him. But like, imagine like they were trying to force him to do it, right? And that was kind of like her argument. There was like, I shouldn't have to. Like, if it's against my religion, I don't want to support, you know what I'm saying, you in any shape, form, or fashion, as you violate the sanctity of marriage. Or she said something to that effect. Religiously. She's like, I don't have a problem with you. You can do whatever you want to do. I just don't want to have to work with you. Which I was like, okay. But then it like, it immediately, like, it in my core, I was like, well, what if it was just because I was black? Like, they basically said discrimination against a protected class is okay. Like, I thought we were a capitalist society. If somebody wants to pay you, they pay you. You know what I'm saying? But again, if it's her argument was that it's art. Like, putting together a website, it's art. You know what I'm saying? And it like kind of like falls under like this art category, which I was like, all right, whatever. But I really feel like in this scenario, like, the Supreme Court was wrong because they got finessed initial just off rip. And then two, if you are that person, like, why not just refer them out? Like, that seems like to be the easiest legal out for you, like, without doing this whole Supreme Court and taking everything to, like, this seems stupid. That's a lot of money just being blown, which kind of lets me know she might have a lot of money. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, rich people just suing just to sue now. You know what I'm saying? They getting with a lawyer friend, and they're just trying to figure stuff out. Like, how can they get over? But I think personally, I feel like it's a slippery slope. Like, I personally understand the religious thing. You don't want to be involved with, you know what I'm saying, the whole LGBTQ plus stuff. I get it. You don't want to be involved in it. That's fine. That makes sense. But then say, yo, your money ain't good. It just screams like, we took this group's rights. If we can beat them, we can beat y'all. And the next thing you know, we're gonna slowly but surely roll back. Because what is that? What is that saying? I believe it was like Martin Luther King. He's like a one person, like, being anyway. I'm not gonna slaughter that. I'm not gonna slaughter it or try and make that quote. Here's the gist of the quote. And I'm finna get up out of here. The gist of the quote is that if they'll do it to this person and we allow it, it's only so long before they come for me, which is true. It's absolutely true. People keep thinking oh, oh my God, excuse me. Keep thinking people are like on their side, and they're actually not. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna come for you next. You're the next one on the chopping block. But anyway, that's my time. If you guys have any thoughts on the Supreme Court and what happened and how everything went down, let me know in the comment section down below. Yeah, man, it's kind of sad, man, seeing the Supreme Court walk everything back. But it was coming. It was coming. It was coming. It's not a shocker. But it was definitely coming, and I just wish things were different. But anyway, thanks for watching. That's my time. I am up out of here.